this really deep realization that I recently had that I wanted to express and share. I've been working on myself for quite some time now, and I understand myself a lot more deeply as compared to a few years ago. I am aware of my patterns and how I relate to other people, my insecurities, and everything, all the sides that a human being has to themselves. I would say I am self aware enough, and which obviously does not mean that I'm perfect in any way, but I am trying, okay? So I recently found myself in my feelings again in context of romantic connections. I personally kind of am in a phase in my life where getting married in a traditional sense is not a priority anymore for me. It is something that I do not value like I used to. I now see it like just a social norm more than anything. I just don't value the construct and the social norms that are attached to the concept of marriage and how we as people and the society see marriage. I just don't value that. It just does not make sense to me, in the sense that I don't want to get married just for the sake of getting married, if that makes sense. When you are an empath, a deeply sensitive person, sometimes things do put you in your feelings. I have to be human enough to admit that, do I want companionship, partnership? Of course, yes. You want a stable presence in your life. Marriage is just a label. So I found myself a little bit in my feelings last couple of days, and at the same time I realized I pretty much have uncovered every single truth that I needed to learn about myself, about other people, how I relate with other people, or like the reality of life. Often life will not turn out how you expected or how you wanted or how you desire, because a lot of the times things don't work out so that you can be led towards the path that you are actually meant to be on, in order for things to work out the way that are actually healthy for you, that are actually good for you. But what happens is we don't see that in this moment. If in this moment you're worrying about something is making you anxious, what you can't see is like 5 years down the line this very thing is going to prove good for you, which you can't obviously see right now because you're operating from a very limited superficial thinking. Often there is divine reasoning behind things not working out the way you want them to work out in any moment. I kind of had this deep self retrospection, and I realized that like the whole truth is in front of me. This is my life, okay? This is who I am, and these are my values. Like every single value, every single standard that I now hold for myself, it's crystal clear. I cannot violate those boundaries for myself. I have certain non-negotiable boundaries with myself which I strive to protect. I strive to protect myself and stand up for myself, and literally be graceful and give others grace. If they can't meet my needs, I just silently remove myself from their presence. I accept everything as it is, because now that I clearly see my own self, what I want from life, what life has given me so far, and what I have chosen to do with it. I'm talking about clarity, like being super clear about every single thing. Then you don't really have any choice or any excuses left to complain or to, behave in shitty ways or to repeat old mistakes. Like, there's nothing left to discover. From that point onwards, the only choice that you have is to accept that reality fully, even if it's not how you desired it to be, even if it's not how you thought it would be. It's basically being open to God's plan for your life and being mature enough to actually understand and mean what you are saying, to embody that energy, okay? Not, if you're a spiritual person, it's more than it is about gathering all this spiritual knowledge and context. What's more important is that you actually apply it, implement it in your life. The context that I want to stick to here is that when you know everything that you need to know about yourself or about the world, there is no other choice left than to accept everything fully and to just surrender wholeheartedly. There's nothing more that you need to do. There is nothing more that is left to be done for you in relation to trying to control things or change things or stress or worry about things being a certain way. Like being in unconditional acceptance for everything and everyone as it is. And that would make one a very peaceful person, if you kind of embodied that energy and that mindset. In a way, yes. But does that mean I would allow myself to be around people who test my boundaries, or who do not value my presence, or who do not respect me, or who do not even remotely understand my worth or what I bring to the table? Absolutely no. Okay, this one actually blew my mind. Respecting yourself enough is part of accepting your entire reality as it is. Self respect is something that you cannot miss. This is what I mean. If you allowed yourself to be in the presence of people who do not value you, who do not see your worth, and who have no idea how to hold you, if you allowed yourself to be around these kind of people, this puts you right back into your ego, because then you might have the tendency to prove your worth, to earn their love and fix them, or make some conscious effort trying to make them understand who you are and how you are trying to add value to their life. And the moment that you have to do that, you have to explain yourself, you lose your value. You actually lose the very value that you're trying to bring to their life, because you don't in the first place believe in their capacity as human beings to be able to learn that information themselves. You take their right to become whole individuals on their own. You take that right away from them. You don't trust their capacity to heal and work on themselves. One. Secondly, you lose your own worth, you lose your own value trying to explain who you are. It puts you back into your ego. Even if you're a good person, even if you mean well, even if you have good intentions, you shouldn't have to explain yourself, because that is an ego behavior. You are operating from your ego if you have to constantly prove your worth, and you're basically trying to gain and get something from other people when you're trying to do any effort to keep them in your life, which you absolutely don't need to. You just need to be yourself. This is how accepting everything in your life as it is, accepting other people, includes you accepting yourself as you are, accepting yourself with all your flaws, perfections, imperfections, everything as you are, and still believing that you are worthy of being loved, you are worthy of being respected without having to earn it, without having to go out of your way to try and win people over. You never need to do that. This brings us back to accepting people as they are, not trying to change or fix them, also not giving disrespectful people a place in your life, removing your energy from those kind of people and energies. If you truly want to learn self acceptance, you have to learn to accept yourself and respect yourself highly at the same time. Ego might make you think that you mean well. You may mean well, you're trying to be good to people, but it is still ego. It's not healthy for you or the other person. You're taking away their capacity to think for themselves. If someone wants to offer you love, if they want to offer you value, and you don't possess that self awareness in you to see that, to understand that, and to reciprocate that, you very well have to do some work on yourself. You have to let people be and let yourself be, and try and let things unfold as they're meant to. I hope this helps. Thank you.